Let's go. Getting ready, about to go live. You know we always have a good time, so count it down, make some noise. Chat is open. If you're here, let us know. Start the cheering. Let's have fun and start connecting. You worry soon you'll be forgetting, 'cause you are here with us now. We are all friends. Sit back and relax, we can begin. Ready or not, here we go. We're all here, so let's start the show. This is the place to be, right here with you and me. Let's meet somebody new. Come and be inspired. The only thing required is to learn and have fun too. Experiment with us, in you we can trust. To live that streaming life, there's no need to be scared, as long as you're prepared. Start the stream and feel alive. Online streaming is a journey. With every step we're always learning. So come with us, let's support each other. We can do everything all together. Ready or not, here we go. We're all here, so let's start the show. This is the place to be, right here with you and me. Let's meet somebody new. Come and be inspired. The only thing required is to learn and have fun too. Experiment with us, in you we can trust. To live that streaming life, there's no need to be scared, as long as you're prepared. Start the stream and feel alive. Your adventure is starting. Nothing compares to streaming. This is the place to be, right here with you and me. Let's meet somebody new. Come and be inspired. The only thing required is to learn and have fun too. Experiment with us, in you we can trust. To live that streaming life, there's no need to be scared, as long as you're prepared. Start the stream and feel alive.
Well, hello, and it's Thursday again. So nice that you are here with us today. We have another meeting with the Livestreamer Peer Group Project, and we will talk about thumbnails. And thumbnails are a pretty important part if you are on YouTube. But first, first of all, let me say hi to the viewers in the chat. Hi, Samantha. And no, Janet hopped in from the chat, so she's not exclusively in the chat anymore, but she's here with us. We have Anna, we have Janet, and we have Einar. And before we go to the topic, Einar, tell us, why are you outside today?
That I'm outside today.
Yeah, why are you sitting outside?
I'm sitting outside because we are without no electricity here. Everything is cut off for about 2 hours more or less, they say. So this is from the terrace with extra energy.
Yeah,
for the telephone.
I just wanted to point that out, that this crazy commitment. Einar has no power, but he said, we have this Zoom meeting, I'll be there, and he just made it work. So that's really great.
Yep.
So
With all minimum. This is possible with only a telephone.
yeah, luckily you have enough daylight still there, so it seems to work.
There is 30 minutes more or less. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we have to get to it. Yeah, and then maybe we can go through some wins. And I heard from Lala, she can't be here today, but she wrote me that she produced her next video. She's going strong in her personal challenge, and her channel is growing thanks to the videos she's putting up there. So that's fantastic. Any wins from you want to share?
Well, I'm going to say that I've been editing a lot of videos.
Yeah.
And I am just working on a lot of planning. And I was thinking about this as I watch a stream from Kat. I can remember her last name, but she's in our mastermind group. And she was talking, talking about less consuming, more creating. And that kind of hit me. And so I haven't really been on Facebook or YouTube, just only to support, y'all and things like that. But I try not to be in there as much. So that's really giving me a purpose time to do my editing and start recording videos. So that's where I am right now. Great.
And you're going strong with your channel too. And you're streaming with Andy, who is also not here today.
That's another thing that we're going at it. We created a Facebook group to build that community that wants to keep on the conversation. And just because, my channel is more geared towards children's ministry and all that kind of stuff. So we wanted to create a space where we can continue with these conversations, and working on creating the channel too. So on YouTube. So we'll see what that's supposed to happen here sometime soon. So this is a topic for today that it's very important to me as I am creating this thumbnail. So I have a lot of questions for y'all.
Okay, so we'll try to figure that out, and Janet, Einar, do you have to share something right now, or?
Not really. I just wanted to say hi. I haven't been here for a while because I have a conflict on Thursdays, probably until mid-July, that the mastermind, what's it called? The mastermind, anyhow, no, it's not a mastermind, membership experience. The membership experience.
Okay, I see.
They have their weekly live at this time. So that's why I haven't been around. But it's like I really miss and need to be with you guys. So talking about accountability, I love thumbnails, so I can't wait for this, and I might have to leave, so I just wanted to say hi. But yeah, I kind of hit a big slump. I didn't go live the last 2 weeks, although I did go live on Memorial Day, did a little Memorial Day show. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just trying to get back on the horse, as they say, or on the wagon or whatever.
Okay.
The wagon. But anyhow, thanks. And I just say hi.
Great.
Great to see you.
Adam finally figured out how to join. Hello. Maybe he didn't figure the sound out yet. Okay.
The audio, yeah.
Yeah. He looks kind of concentrated.
Who, me? Are you talking to me? Oh yeah, I had a power outage.
Oh, okay.
Our breaker, it's so hot today. It's like 92 degrees, which is not really that hot, but hot for San Diego. And
hot.
My breaker popped, and I lost my garage. I lost like this whole side of the house. This is the garage. behind
Okay.
this wall. And so this whole side of the house went, and it wouldn't turn back on. Breakers are built so until they cool down, you can't turn them back on, and it's hot. So it finally cooled down, and I just got my power back. I tried calling with my phone, and then I'm like, oh, it just came back. And
Okay.
then, the internet had to restart too, because
Of course.
the internet. So I'm now back.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So you see,
Yeah.
Einer is without power too, but he made it work with the phone. So
oh, cool. Yeah, awesome. Isn't that weird? It's the summertime. I forgot. In the summer, we lose power. It's a
okay.
California thing.
Okay. I
So,
see.
yeah, we live in a third world over here.
Okay.
So,
So yeah.
an expensive third world. Yeah, so things are moving along. This week I've had a lot going on. I took the week off. I spent a lot of time at Petco Park. Excuse me, and my air conditioner's just gone on, so you might hear that in the background. But I took a couple extra days off in creating content, but I still created a lot of content, so I just did a hour-long live stream talking about Podcast 2.0, which is something that's pretty interesting, which is like the next generation of podcasting. There's a lot to it. It's fairly technical and conceptual, and has to do with cryptocurrency, kind of like NFT, right? So I unpacked that with a buddy of mine who's an expert in all of this in Sweden, and we had just difficult time with his connection. His audio connection was super choppy, so I had to do a lot of the talking, which I really didn't want to do, but we got through that today. And then I did my first premiere. I've never done a premiere before where you pre-record something on Monday, and that's so much easier. What I've decided, rather than doing every show live, I'm going to do pre-records during the week, especially when I'm busy, record them when I can, and then like premiere them at the time, which is 5 p.m. And then on the weekends, I started doing on Sundays at noon Pacific time, Q&A sessions. So people have questions about how to, what to do with their podcasts, anything they want to bring me, we could talk about and kind of unpack to help people get started. But it's been moving along well. Also, I figured out some technical things. I got a new mic set up, and I'm playing with that. I still have the Shure. I put it away, but this is an Elgato Wave 3, and I really like it. So it's been working well for me. It does some really cool stuff. And I also got a set of in-ear monitors, which I'm not wearing right now. The only reason why I'm not wearing those guys is, for the most part, I find that by wearing them, I can't hear the rest of the world because they're so in-ear, and I don't like that. I can actually still hear a little bit through these guys. I don't like being so isolated with in-ear monitor. Like when you're in-ear monitors, it's like they're touching your brain, It's like,
okay.
I can smell like turkeys and gravies when I put them in my ear because it hits that part of my brain.
Okay.
Adam, only just wear one. Don't wear two.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
The other one you could swallow, so that way you can hear
Yeah.
internally.
Yeah, the other one is no, you don't want to hear that. I don't like being so like the wire is so short on the one I got. It's only 3 feet, and it gets tugged like so. I got an extender.
Yeah, you go to
And,
Amazon, get a 25-foot extender.
That's what I just did. Yeah, I got an extender. So
75 feet.
yeah, so I'm waiting for that to arrive. And that's it, so just a lot of activity, a lot of forward motion, and a lot of focusing. And I've also been, producing my podcast. Producing a new podcast, which is Taco Stories, that I shared with you. And I went out and did some recording on Tuesday, on Taco Tuesday. And I ate some tacos and recorded that whole thing. And I'm going to edit that. But that whole development experience, I'm going to be doing as part of my show. So, like this is how we do a podcast. This is how you create an episode. So I'm getting the source material together for my next first episode. But it's all been going well. I can't, I appreciate all your support. It's like, I feel like there's so many people sharing such great content, and there's so much stuff going on. There's so much activity that I'm getting to the point where I just have to let things go. Like I just can't watch everybody and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I have to make stuff, Also, I went to 3 baseball games in Petco Park, and that was 3 hours of my life. 9 hours times 3 times 3, and it was awesome. We beat the pants off the Mets, which is awesome because I'm from New York and I hated the Mets. So yeah, and it's just, I was awesome. We had such a good time. I was up late last night cheering my face off for the Padres, and so yeah, it was really good. I've been having a lot of fun, so that's all part of it too. You need to balance the stuff you love with the stuff that you work for, right? And that also keeps the getting in the trench and digging the hole and pushing the rock a lot easier if you know that after this moment of pushing, I'm going to go dance around. So that's been part of it too. So
Great.
that's what's happening here.
Okay. So then Roy is saying, I love thumbnails. One day I will get good at them. Yeah, that's the idea. And that brings us right to the topic, thumbnails. They are pretty important on YouTube because it's the first thing a potential viewer gets to see. And if they don't like the thumbnail, you can make the best video behind it. Just won't get seen. So how are you dealing with making thumbnails, and has anyone any tips or best practices to go with that?
Yeah, so let me just share that. In my profession, I'm an art director, creative director for a big tech company, and I was a beta tester for Photoshop. I've been using Photoshop for so long, and I started with Illustrator 1.0, and I don't know if anybody remembers Alda's PageMaker. So I started in graphic design from the early days when desktop publishing was a thing, right? And I'm sure many of you have that kind of experience too. It's nothing special, but I've used these tools, and I'm kind of snobby when it comes down to how you're supposed to do things, just from my history. Then this little application came along called Canva, and Canva's like, if you're a designer and you know how to use Photoshop and Illustrator and Bezier tools and layers and masks and all of this complicated stuff, alpha channels and all this stuff, Canva got rid of all that. And there's almost no tools. You could add text and then you can move it around. And I was like, oh man, why would anybody want to use this? You have no control. But that's the whole point. You don't need control, because if you start with a template, or you just get started with something where you have something and you keep moving it around, Canva is so quick. And I've been using Canva for my thumbnails. And what I do is, once I came up with a thumbnail that I like, and I like the one that I'm doing now, I just copy it and then change the picture, change the words, move stuff around a little bit, but I don't have to reinvent myself every single time. The previous me would be like, oh, but that's just wrong. That's
And there he froze.
a French restaurant. I'm like, well, Pop-Tarts are kind of good, I know they're artificial, but have you tried one? They're kind of sweet. Yeah, I get it. But I had to leave my design snob at the door. And then all of a sudden I'm like, and people don't care. Look, thumbnails have to be right. They have to work, but people don't care what they don't care what mic you use. They don't care what software program you use, what editing you use, whether you're on a PC or a Mac, they don't care. What they care is the quality of your content, and it's good enough. So I use Canva. I started with finding, and they have thumbnails, a thumbnail that I liked, and then I went out and I looked at thumbnails on YouTube of the people, what catches my eye, and then I emulated that using Canva, and it would have been much easier for me to do that in Illustrator or in Photoshop, because I know those tools better than Canva, but it wasn't as easy to update and automate. It was always when you open up Photoshop, it's oh, by the way, I have to update. Wait for 2 minutes, and then you gotta it's just so much. It's such a big deal to open those apps, and they take your whole system. Whereas in Canva, it's just pop in, do the thing, copy, boom, boom, you're done, you're out, you got your thumbnail. Takes me 5 minutes, boom, and done. So that's mine. And the big takeaway was, rather than reinvent the thumbnail or come up with something super creative, I went into YouTube and looked at the people who I really respect, and then I just copied them. You know, it's not the same, but like I use them as an inspiration. I've got my own colors and my own font that I use. I do the handwritten thing, and I do the silhouette, and all that kind of
face, yeah.
yeah, and cut it out, and and it's like that stuff's automated in Canvas. You just put your photo in, and it cuts out the background.
Yeah.
You make your type. And that's it. I think the one thing that's so important, if I could just give any advice as a designer and as understanding this medium, is like, you got to make your text big, bold, easy to read, and like 5 words or less. Like, learn this with that. Boom. And then leave all the description in the description and all of the long stuff. I've seen a lot of thumbnails that just tell you everything and have the time, the detail, and the person, and the and the thumbnail is really just for do X with Y.
Okay.
Do you know X? That's it.
Yeah. So let's see in the chat. Sammy says he's been using Photoshop more than Canva. Yeah, either way works. And Sammy says some people don't even use text, and that's very interesting. Yeah, absolutely. You don't need text every time. And what I think is pretty important is don't write the same thing in the thumbnail as you write in the title, because the title should be an additional information and not just the same thing.
And the title is searchable, so it should be written in a way that someone would search for. Like, how do I do X?
Yeah.
That would be, whereas the thumbnail is not searchable.
Yeah,
right?
YouTube will read what is on your thumbnail. They will do that. But if they make it searchable, that's another question. But they will look at your thumbnail and every frame of your video and every sound in your video, and they will find out what you put there. So Roy is saying 4 words or less, always show a face, build suspense if that is an option in the thumbnail, and Canva for the win. Yeah, not too many words. Yeah, Adam, that's what you said too. You said maximum 5, or yeah, somewhere around that. And then the face, that's an interesting topic. Faces tend to do pretty well because they convey emotion and they are something we're familiar to. But the face, of course, has to mean something in that context.
It doesn't have to be your face, too. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
it just has to be a face.
Yeah, but it should be somehow connected to the content, I guess.
Sure, if you want them to stick around. But I know someone who never shows their face. He's this guy called Crafty Stacks, and he does like all this crafty stuff, really good stuff. And he always has amazing faces, but nobody knows what he looks like. And though his video is real, like the content is so good that you're like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, you absolutely can do it. Yeah. So, but what are you using? Are you using your face in your thumbnail or not? Adam is using it. Anna?
No, I'm using what I can make with Keynote in Apple for now.
Oh, Keynote, yeah, that's another good way to do it.
Keynote is it is possible to make many things in almost the same way for you reuse as Adam is talking about. Yeah. But I also started the other day with working a little with Canva, but I'm not so experienced with that. Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty easy if once you get in there. And do you use your face, Einar?
My face?
In the thumbnail?
No, not normally.
Okay.
Sometimes it is a thumbnail or something I cut out of the video. So maybe I'm there, maybe not.
Okay. Yeah, and you can always experiment with that. And Anna, I guess you're using your face for your interviews.
I am. So, it's worked really great making my thumbnails for that stream because, I asked my guests for their picture. So I put my picture and their picture, and that kind of tells the whole thing, right? Like Roy was saying, and I'm making notes because, I have to keep consistency on my thumbnails, and I like that. So one of the people that I follow for examples and stuff, she does the same thing. Like, but Andy brought up an important point when I started making the thumbnails for our stream, because I use the same template. And again, I'm a big fan of Canva. So I was using the same template and just changing the words, but still it kind of looked the same. So some people was telling him that I thought it was the same stream, all repeating all over and all over. And I'm like, oh, wow. So we need to do something different. And what Roy was saying, to add a face to the thumbnail. And I love what Marcus said too, the connection, the emotional connection that people have with the picture of you or whomever you presenting. I didn't think of that before, because I like to use graphics, little like the stick man or something, not to use usually my pictures, because, this takes time, all this makeup.
Yeah, but
So
but
sometimes-
once you have it on, you can make 20, 30, 40 pictures for the
Exactly.
future. And then
Right. Like I have to batch my pictures. And then I'm like, oh, but I'm wearing the same shirt, and I'm like, okay, well, I want to change a little bit. So what I'm doing is now, like in a monthly, I create a folder and I put I batch, this pictures, because I already know the topic I'm going to be talking about. So I take 5 pictures, because it's once a week, and I save them in that folder, and then I pull them out and use them for that month, and then another month, or go change shirts and make another month, right? But I wasn't really aware of that, because to me it's important to keep that consistency, and that they look like my brand colors match and all that stuff. But it was too much of the same colors that I was losing the point of creating a thumbnail. So Roy, Tech Troublemaker, I think I'm looking at his channel right now, and I love his playlist and how it looks all very consistent.
yeah. What I noticed when you do the thumbnails for your interviews and you have yourself and the guest, I guess you're mimicking the pose of the guest. If the guest has a hat, you have a hat, and things like that. I love that.
Yeah, trying also just to keep consistency again.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have 2 people eager to present something, I guess. I don't know. No, okay. But Adam is kind of preparing to show us something. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. The
Not
way I have
sure
it set
yet.
up. Yeah, can you see my screen in my little window?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is my Canva. Let me just open up on my iPad. So okay, great. So you guys can all see it. If I open it up on let me just put this volume. There we go. If I open it up on Zoom, I get this crazy feedback. So let's just keep it here. So so this is just to make the point of using templates, right? So, this is the first one here that I'm putting my mouse around, Apple Podcast Connect. And then what I have are, I change my photos sometimes. I use the blue and orange background. Sometimes it's a wedge, sometimes it's a curve. And this is just like a blue circle over an orange background. Sometimes I have my logo over the blue, sometimes I have the logo over the orange. So there's like a very simple geometric relationship that changes with each thumbnail. So they're not exactly the same. And then I just make a bunch of these, and I sometimes reuse them, right? But, I just pop them in and out. And then all of my text are these like bumper stickers, with the handwritten type at different angles. Sometimes I take it off, and then these are my colors. this YouTube red, this orange, which matches my background, and then the gray, which is the color. I always wear gray shirts. In fact, my entire wardrobe is gray. My wife hates it, but I love gray, like dark charcoal gray. So that's like, these are my colors, right, that I use. And this is my wall is the blue. And then the opposite of the color wheel is the orange. And, you know, and I tone it back a little bit, but I use the orange often for like my other podcasts. So Podcast Starter Club, taco stories, like I use this orange all over the place, right? So, and my headphones are orange here. So like I limit my palette, but so they all kind of work together. But if I wanted to create a new, say I wanted to create a new one, I would just go, say from this one, I just go make a copy. And this is the copy of, and I'll give it a new number. So, but I'm not going to change the name here. Then I just open it up here and I'll just say this one is about streaming for fun, right? And you know, I'm just changing it up, right?
Yeah,
and now
cool.
it's, you know, and I might tilt these in a different way, right? So I might just tweak them a little bit so they're not exactly the same. Maybe I'll move it around a little bit. Maybe I'll make one a circle, right? So it's like coming up with a format that enables you to just quickly you know, change a few things. I might even put a different picture in here, right? You know, and now it's yet another one. And maybe instead I'll make this side orange and that side blue. But I limit my choices. So making the updates it's easy. It's not like I have to create something new every single time and then say this is okay. Yeah, I like this. This is what I'm going to go with. All I need to do is hit the share button in the upper right-hand corner and you just download it. And there it goes. Boom. It's all ready to go. And then when I download it, okay, you'll see it's copying it. When I go to my download folder, and bear with me for a second as I hide all, hide others. And then, okay, as we go into my downloads, we can see what I just downloaded. Oh, there it is, right? And that's my thumbnail. So, you know, that's what I do to make it really simple and really
great.
easy to kind of scale. I'm going to come back to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn this all off.
Did you start that with a template and then tweak it? Or did you start?
Yeah, so I designed the first one, you know, and that's my template. And then I just tweaked it.
You didn't use a Canva template. You designed.
No, well, I'm a designer.
You have a designing background, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
but so my point is, say you wanted to do it, and let me just go back and I'll share my screen again to show you how I would do that. We'll do it again really quickly, just for anyone who's watching.
Okay. In the meantime, we go to the chat. Roy says Adam loved the consistent colors. Yeah. And Anna, yeah, it's always funny people who can talk here also right in the chat, but that's great. Anna says, men have it so easy wearing the same type of shirts all the time. Yeah. Yes,
okay,
and most men don't wear makeup. That's true. Okay.
Okay, so let's try to, so I don't know if you can see my screen again.
Yes.
Yeah. So now I just did YouTube thumbnail, right? So what I typed into Canva, and we have all of these things. So let's pick this one's kind of simple, right? So we've got this one now, and I'll just put podcast, and it's a little big, right? So I'm going to bring it down so it all fits. I'll just type in the number like 80. There we go, 90. Okay, and I'll open this up just a little bit. Oops, I'm picking the wrong thing here. All right, and I'll bring this down so it fits a little bit better. Podcast, the easy way, right? And then, wow, that's kind of cool, right? So, and I'll make this a little bit bigger so it fits. And then, like, this guy's gotten better hair than I do, so maybe I'll use him, right? But I'll just get rid of him. You're dead to me. And then I'll go to my elements, And these are all my stuff. What do I find?
Uploads.
Oh, maybe it's uploads. Yeah, there it is. I'll get one of the things, one of me. Maybe it's pointing the other way. Oh, I like this one. This one will be funny. So say that's what I want to use, right? Just my big head, and I want to get rid of the background, right? So let's try it again. Edit image here, and then remove background remover. Just click on this thing here and give it a second as it does its magic. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you, Canva. There I am. Awesome. Right. And then I could just, it's not quite the right positioning. My eyes. Oops.
Yeah. We get
you get the idea.
Course, yeah.
Right. You get the idea.
Yeah.
Right. So that is.
So if you're not a designer, then you can start with a pre-made template and have a good
just
basic there.
Bring in your own stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so easy, right? It's so easy. This is thumbnails the easy way. Right. And it's kind of fail safe the way that they make it work. And I just really love it. I really love it. And this is from a professional graphic person who should hate Canva. I love it. It's amazing what they do. Right. So you can just kind of make this all work and then send it to the back. Just kind of push it back. Come on, go back. I'll bring this to the front.
And Einar starts getting into the dark there without the power.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's a little dark outside.
Yeah. So that's with the phone you can do everything, but you kind of need the light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question. I'm curious about how far out do you guys plan your content to be able to batch your thumbnails?
Very good question.
I just do them one at a time. I should do it. I do sometimes batch one or two, but I usually focus on the next show. And what I do is because I schedule it even for the premiere. So I do my thumbnail first. I do the thumbnail before I do the show. And then I have it ready to go. And then I do the show. So I actually do the thumbnail and upload it and schedule the show. And then I do the show.
Really? That's what y'all do? Yeah,
that's what I do.
What Janet does too. Okay.
I don't recommend it.
Yeah, I'm doing the thumbnail first, especially for a live stream. But I think that's another interesting topic. If it's a live stream like the one that Adam is doing now, where he has each week just ask me things, and then there is the question: do you use the same thumbnail every time because you don't know what will be the topic? Yeah.
But see, and I guess this is a great conversation because there are, I hope I'm not the only one, but there are people there that have to know what's coming in order to be consistent. And like, you have to see my spreadsheet, like I have it all figured out for the month because I can, even though going live, it's kind of nerve-wracking by itself, right? Yes, because you're coming in and you really don't know how it's going to go, but you should have a topic for the, to go live. And so I plan that content within a month, and that's how I know that I can make those thumbnails with that time limit. So I don't think that I could just go in and change the graphic right then and there the day of or anything like that.
Okay, so we have some answers in the chat. John is saying, Anna, I wish so many things going on, so hard to plan much ahead. I'd love to. So yeah, you're one step ahead there. And Roy is saying thumbnail and title days before the live usually. And
Mm.
Roy continues, then if it doesn't do well in the first 24 hours, I will change my thumbnail and or title.
Ah, that is pretty smart.
Yeah, that's the smart thing to do. Usually for me, because I'm doing this as just mainly for fun, I don't find the time to go back and change it. But if you really are focused on the success, and especially if it's a video you put a lot of work in, then absolutely look if it's performing and if you can change something.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Other inputs to planning and preparing.
I think Anna, for ideally, it would be really nice to be able to plan all of that ahead. I finally had that aha moment, like, oh, I could actually plan my content way ahead, and then have the thumbnails ready, at least semi-ready even, to go, and then it would just, be scheduled easier as opposed to what I do now. Sometimes it's even like I don't know my topic until the day before, or one time I did the morning of, and so I created my thumbnail and had to, get Ecamm and Restream and everything. It was like, it would be really nice to be able to have it all done and be really calm and know where you're going. Have that roadmap,
Yeah, so that would be
It's
maybe
a
a
great
topic for
idea.
another day. How to make some roadmap. Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
or another one, if you are going to do it last minute, the other topic might be how to use templates. If you're more of a last minute person, it's almost like thumbnail in a box, like everything's in a box. So it just takes I just got to change 3 words and move them around and make, change a picture. And for me to do a thumbnail, it's 10 minutes. It's not an hour, right? So if you can templatize things, you can do them last minute.
Yeah.
Like fast food, right? Like McDonald's hamburger, right? It's all 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tony, are you doing thumbnails or are you're streaming mainly on Facebook? So maybe.
There's my nail.
Okay.
There's the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be down here in the corner. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, what we're doing is because we've got a facility we're putting together and being able to rent it out and do things. We've been busy, but our show's going to go from 15 minutes to half an hour. And to help you with Janet, we're going to have a 52-week schedule. So it doesn't mean we're going to adhere to it 100%, but we're going to be able to make thumbnails, whatever, because the idea is to go live stream, send it to our website, and then restream it to all the other different social medias. So then that way we have it done. And then when we stop the live, we're going to put uploads or whatever, we'll be making thumbnails obviously for YouTube, but we're trying to put in all the different medias so people have it. For the 52 weeks is because we're going to have speakers or entertainers. So we have to have that way in advance and let people pick dates. And that way it's there. So those are part of our highlights of what our show is. And then we usually do the holiday of the day each week, as Adam could probably say yes or no on that. But the thing behind it is we're off the cuff. We do an outline of something and then we move forward because we call it 15 minutes of fame. Now we're gonna have to increase. We'll still call it 15 minutes of fame, but we just have fun for our group, and we're gonna start putting in other things and taking more advantage of technology with the overlays, intros, automated things like that. But right now it's just been my wife and I doing it, and we're going to spruce it up because we're looking at a larger market to go to. So we got to be semi-organized, and because newcomers will see it and whatever and go, but we still get 200 to 400 views a week. Those are most all replays because we got our 4 faithful, live subscribers that show up. They don't even have to subscribe; they just show up because it's only on Facebook. But we're working on that avenue there. But it's a lot of fun because it's live, like you said, where it's not rehearsed. We just give ourselves an outline and we go from there.
Okay, great. And but did I understand it right? If you put it on YouTube later, then you make a thumbnail for that then, because for Facebook you obviously need no thumbnail. Yeah.
Right. Well, we figured out you're gonna, after the live is done, then we'll hack it up and we can, what do they call that when you repurpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're gonna repurpose it, so it'll go on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. So the idea is you get the shows will go in there, and then we'll chop it down even more for like TikTok or Reels or Stories. So it'll be in all the different avenues. And there we got to hack it all up.
Do you go live once a week?
Once a week, every Friday morning at 8:30 Pacific Daylight Time. And that's the goal. And one of our longest unsubscribed subscriber is from Denmark, Ina.
Great.
Hey.
Yeah. And we talk. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna point out that he looks scary right now, but we love him.
Well, he's without power too, where he's at.
Yes, only with the watch.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay. What the light comes from the watch? You're a hero, Heiner. You just make it work, and that's the thing about live streaming. Make it work somehow.
He's gonna drain his phone. He's gonna drain his watch, and then he's gonna be in complete darkness.
But he is here. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, we have some.
I'm not normally not home in the evening on Friday, but always on the replay.
Okay.
Tony and Andy, that is very fun.
And we're starting to take it around with our cell phone or our tablet, and we're asking friends to do that because we live in a senior complex, so it's senior oriented. But anybody can watch it. And I just sent some copies back to Nebraska to a neighbor that was there, is living with their daughter right now, and that's all they do is laugh for 15 minutes. So we make people happy in that sense, and because we work good together, and I like that. Like some people, they go, "Oh, Andy's number one, and Tony, you're just there for the ride," or the other way around. And I could care less. We're there to have fun and put the show on. And eventually, this is not a paid advertisement. We're not sponsoring, but I had to get my soda, for lunch. And but it's just we don't have any sponsorships, no money yet coming in. We haven't ascertained the best way to do it, but we're looking into it. The goal is to figure out what's be good and comfortable behind the camera or in front of the camera. I mean,
absolutely.
Yes, but some of your content, and Tony, it's not only funny, but you can learn something about. You talk about many things I don't know. Also about United States. So you learn something to watch this channel also.
Yeah, I second that. It's really good. Like, besides being entertaining, I love the contents and the holidays. And I'm like, I didn't know that. And so it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're only doing the holidays on that day, whatever. These are just not the holidays, but national days, whatever they select. And I'm sorry for stepping on your microphone, Marcus. And
no, go ahead.
I just want to let you know that's one of the things we came up with that. When we first started, our first couple of shows were like 2 minutes into it, go like, well, what do we say now? We got like 12 more minutes. And then now I put timers up and we still pass it. So I've said we got to go to a half an hour show and start bringing in some guests. I got some musicians, I got different other people, just to add things that's going to be kind of neat and unique, and that'll get a broader audience. And people start, because 2 years being the same way, we gotta add more things to it. And I did add some overlays right in the beginning. I stopped it all. I just said plain straight, but I like building an audience and an introduction and exit and start and stop at the same time, but everything else in between can go crazy.
Okay, so two things, Tony. One is we need a link to your show so that we can go and find it. If you could put that somewhere in the chat or somewhere.
I will.
And the other thing is a very good thing you brought up is at first you didn't know what to say after 2 minutes. And that is a conversation in the chat too, where John says, my feeling is the more you stream, the better you get. And so stressing over a topic, I don't. I let the conversation take over, and it's never a problem. So, yeah, for me that's hard. That's why I mainly did interviews, or now this group here. And Anna also said, I hope one day I get there. And then John says, Anna, you are there if you let yourself be. Trust me. And I think that's a good thing to take to heart, and especially now listening to Tony, he just went there, and at the start it was short, but then you get there. So, and Roy says if his live show isn't going well, he shuts up and lets others talk. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, but yeah, I love this conversation in the chat.
Well, can I go a little back again?
Yeah, of course.
We've done some of our shows that we got set up, and something happened to Facebook within the setup of OBS and trying to get it run, and won't connect. So we grabbed the cell phone, we just turned it on and started going. So people would find us again. A few people find us, but we 99% of it is going to be replays, because it goes out to thousands of people that we send it out to, and we get hundreds back, which is really nice. The nice thing is that we use whatever tools we need. We try different things. When I was sick, my wife tried to do something, and I told her how to set the camera up, and then she did, and then she turned it around, so the whole thing was audio. She's showing the back of the house,
Okay.
sliding glass door, because she was standing where she was supposed to be, but she turned the camera around. So I said, "This was our first podcast."
Okay, I hope there was no mess on the other side.
No, it was nice, but the point was, and she got upset.
Yeah,
I said,
of course.
"Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We're keeping it." In the last episode we did, my wife we did the sound check and everything, and I know it's TMI. She had to run to the restroom and come back, and obviously she turns off the microphone because it's in here. So we get back, we start doing the whole show, and then afterwards she goes, "Oh, Tony, you're not gonna be mad at me." I go, "What?" "I forgot to turn the microphone on." So I played a little bit of it. I said, "Yeah, you're kind of silent." And we've done that before. We had to take the mic off, put it between us, and everything worked fine. But this is the thing we do. We don't worry about these things that happen. We mess up on running our camera because we remote control XYZ, and sometimes we hit the wrong button and it goes that way instead of that way,
Yeah,
But
great.
that's what live is all about. And that's what people like, is that it's not one guy came to me and says, "Well, you're a professional. You're supposed to be like the national broadcasters do and everything like that." And I says, "They're dying, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, the internet's bigger,
Yeah,
and everyone likes the live stuff."
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, great. So I
That was
now have the
really
link and
empowering.
put it down there. Yeah, absolutely, Anna. I agree. Yeah. Okay, so thumbnail wise, I think we didn't ask Janet about her thumbnails. How do you do them? Do you put your face in there?
I do mine on Canva because it's so easy peasy. I can't believe how easy it is. And I don't always use templates. I just create my own just because I can't help myself. The control thing. But yeah, there's so many options. So I use Canva for so many things that I used to use the more advanced technology for. And it's just so fast and easy. And yeah, that's
Yeah, okay. All right. So yeah, what did we gather so far? Yeah, Canva, it is easy. You can use Photoshop, of course. Thumbnail, very important. It's the first thing the viewer gets to see. Yeah, another great tip was, if it doesn't work, try to change it. What else? Yeah, try to tell the story. Try to interest the viewer, but interest with something that you will actually deliver. Because if not, you will get the click, but then you will not get the the video scene really. So that are the things I came up right now. Yeah, just,
Another thing
yeah.
to remember is when your thumbnail appears, it will be next to every color that doesn't go with your thumbnail. That, you
Okay.
know, thumbnails are viewed with other thumbnails, you know, so things that are subtle or detailed or are there because they need to match something else in your brand, no one's going to see that. What they're going to see is your thumbnail against everybody else's thumbnail. So it's a tapestry, you know, it's confetti, right?
Yep.
So make sure that you use something that's graphically bold and stands on its own and is not dependent on some other piece of your brand for people to get it. Like, so for example, if you ever look at Instagram, some people, they used to do this tapestry in the Instagram, like you'd have all the photos and you do just like a part of an orange and then the next part and then the next part. So when you looked at the posts all together, you'd see the whole orange cut across all the photos, kind of like the Brady Bunch thing, right? That goes all the way around, if you know what that is, right? But that just doesn't work with thumbnails. Need to stand on their own, not as part of not a part of something else. Or if you do like a series, you think they're all going to be together. You know, remember your thumbnail will be up against other people's thumbnails, and they never look good together.
Yeah, that's a good input.
Really good.
And I heard of people doing a thing where they take the video feed with all the thumbnails from YouTube and they overlay their thumbnail there in one of the thumbnails. And
to see what it would look like.
Then you get a feel how is your thumbnail. And there are also tools where you can preview how your thumbnail will look in different screen sizes and settings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and Einar is fading more and more, but I love it. It's still here, still going strong.
But you know, Marcus, it will not until the 13th of August. It will not get totally dark here. It is the light nights.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're a bit more north than me. Yeah.
But not enough light for video.
Yeah, and the really good tip from John is remember to view your thumbnail on mobile, since most watch on mobile. Absolutely.
That's a good point.
What I do, if I created it in Canva, I download it and I make it fairly small. Still on the PC monitor then, but I just make it small, kind of eyeballing how it will be. And of course, maybe you will not get every detail, but you still get some impression of how your thumbnail will look. And that's
I think that's a good point right there, that sometimes I forget about the font, the size font I use on the thumbnail,
yeah.
And that people will be watching on the phone. So that's a great tip right there.
So the majority of viewers on YouTube are on mobile nowadays, and that can differ for your channel. My channel is too small to really go into those statistics, but if you have a certain number of viewers, you can then go and see if you are, maybe you are a channel then where people still are more on desktop, but make everything nice and big. Yeah, absolutely. And Roy says, capitalize the first letter of each word in title. Yeah, that can also really help, or capitalize maybe a really important word in there. Yeah, absolutely.
I know people who will misspell a word on purpose.
Okay.
Just to catch your eye, like, oh,
yeah.
typo, I got you. Or they put one upside down, or like they'll put one word upside down, or they'll do something just to get you as a hook.
Yeah.
Or fly. Yeah. You know, I've seen the videos where there's like a fly or a spider crawls across the screen.
Yeah, you can experiment with that. Yeah. Then maybe you get some angry
social
comments.
triggers. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we have 5 minutes left. So one question is, was that helpful for you?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Very good, yes, yeah.
Right. Like for me, I'm going to take now some of these things in consideration. 4 words or less, always show a face, and build suspense.
It doesn't have to be your face necessarily.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
I'm
that's
going to put
okay.
yours.
You know, that's good. Sure, you're allowed, but like it could be someone who has like who inspires you, or it could be a sculpture, it could be an
Right.
animal face, right? It could be just something that works for you. You know, I know people who will use like a painting that's in the public domain, like an angel's face or something
Yeah.
wonderful that just you see the eyes and the face. We see faces in everything, in clouds, and
Right.
faces are
Yeah.
great. Like where, oh, I see a face, right? A
Mhm.
rock formation that looks like a face.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. And I need to add here to misspell a word on purpose.
Can try that. Yeah.
Which I actually I think I do, but not on purpose.
Okay.
So, or maybe I'm gonna start throwing a word in Spanish in between.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, and just tell people why they should watch. No, don't tell. Show people why they should watch. Yeah. Okay. And a last word from the chat goes to Roy. He says, "You guys are awesome. I enjoy all of your shows. I don't always get to see them live, yeah, of course, but I try to get back on replay. Just keep doing what you're doing." Yeah, likewise, Roy. You're going strong too there. Yeah, nowadays I even fall back on watching replays. It's just you're all doing so much things, I guess. Earlier we knew fewer people and they did fewer content and we could watch everything. And now, yeah, we try. Yeah, great seeing you too here, John. And yeah, I would say let Einar save some of his battery power there, but that was so inspiring how you showed up.
It is working fine.
It's working. Okay, I hope.
So,
Yeah,
to Anna es buenas noches aquí.
yeah, and maybe you can go inside now to get some warmth back then. And
Yes,
okay,
but
but
it's fine.
that was cool. I really enjoyed talking with all of you and with all of you in the chat. And if you're in the replay, let us know what you think and that you were here. But that's it for today. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.